Good evening and welcome to the news at 8 a.m. Tariro Manamike with Peaceway Jomunyika at the Sign Language Desk.
I'm Liam Bernard. Marilyn Gwenya will join us much later from our Montrose studios. Let's take a look at the stories we're tracing in the headlines tonight.
Namibia's founding president, Dr. Sam Nujoma, laid to rest at the National Heroes Acre in Windhoek.
President Emerson Mnangagwa was among dignitaries who attended the burial ceremony.
Zimbabwe and Zambia pledged to enhance security cooperation.
And in business, more local firms line up for certification with global standards on products and services.
And in sport, Simbabora and FC Platinum play out to a goalless draw in a Premier Soccer League match this afternoon.
There is our leading stories. We start off with the main news.
Indeed, the Namibian president, Dr. Nangolo says he cherishes the late former president, Dr. Sam Nujoma's contribution to the freedom of the country, the freedom that the country is enjoying. And he said this during the burial ceremony of the founding president at the National Heroes Acre in Windhoek today, where President Emerson Mnangagwa was among several African leaders who paid their last respects to the African icon. Our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe, gives us the details.
Right in the heart of Namibia, the gallant fighters, former SWAPO militants, bade farewell to their commander-in-chief of the People's Liberation Army of Namibia plan. President Sam Nujoma, who was laid to rest at the National Heroes Acre in Windhoek, Namibia this Saturday, the 1st of March 2025. The Namibian President, Comrade Nangolo said the late Comrade Nujoma gave us hope in the jungles of Angola and Zambia as we planned how to effectively dismantle the apartheid machinery in our country.
Those of us who had the privilege of being under your command during the struggle fondly recall how, as a leader, you always displayed confident demeanor in front of your comrades and your followers and your soldiers. We recall how during the Central Committee meetings in the remote areas of Angola, you would say, and I quote, "Next time we will have this meeting of the Central Committee at the outskirts of Windhoek." Not only did you lead us to the outskirts of Windhoek, but to the heart of the city itself. We fought under your command and we won the liberation struggle and forever remove apartheid colonialism from the face of Namibia.
Driven by that love for Uhuru and freedom, here we are today standing as a free people in the land of the brave, said President Mbumba. Here we are laying to rest our commander-in-chief on these hallowed grounds among some of the luminaries of our struggle, such as Peter Nanyemba, Hage Geingob, Toivo Yatoivo, Hidibo Hamutenya, to mention but a few, said President Mbumba.
Indeed, we are, in your own words, and I quote, now the masters of our own destiny. Today, we have returned to the outskirts of Windhoek this morning, not to celebrate a homecoming, but to bid you our final welfare and our final salute. You were the ultimate statesman and commander-in-chief. Namibia is proud to call you a son of the Namibian soil. May your legacy of dedication and hard work become a source of strength for the entire Nujoma family, as well as the entire Namibian nation, as we continue to uphold your command of maintaining unity of purpose.
The President, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, João Lourenço of Angola, and several former presidents Ian Khama of Botswana, Joaquim Chissano of Mozambique, Thabo Mbeki of South Africa, to mention but a few, were all there. Yes, indeed, he was the last of the trailblazing founding fathers in this region to switch off the lights, as the entire leadership of his generation is all gone. President Nyoma leaves behind a widow of Ambo, 3 children, several grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. What a befitting send-off, with a 21-gun salute and a flight past, all saluting their founding father of the nation. That is Mzee Sam Shafishuna Nyoma. Ruben Barwa, ZBC News, the hero's Eka in Windhoek, Namibia.
Meanwhile, His Excellency the President, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, is back home after attending the burial of Namibia's first president, Dr. Sam Nyoma, this Saturday.
President Mnangagwa, who is also SADC chairperson, was welcomed at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport by the 2 vice presidents, General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga and Comrade Kembo Mohadi, ministers, senior government officials and service chiefs. The head of state had earlier in the day joined fellow heads of state at Namibia's national shrine to bid farewell to the country's founding president and liberation icon, Dr. Sam Nyoma, who died on February 8 last month. The burial was attended by a number of presidents from the continent and other leaders from beyond the African continent. Thousands of Namibians turned out at the national shrine for the burial of their liberator. The burial this Saturday was preceded by a memorial service for Dr. Nyoma on Friday, which President Mnangagwa also attended. Bruce Chawanda, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe's state-owned investment company Mutapa Investment Fund has set sights on more projects in the energy supply chain to sustain the ever-growing demand for power by industry and commerce. And we get the details in the upcoming report.
The recertification ceremony of the Zimbabwe Power Company on a Friday created a platform for stakeholders to assess the country's energy value chains and focus on strategies to guard against local and global shocks threatening gains in the power supply chains. With the state-owned company Mutapa Investment Fund holding control and ownership of ZESA Holdings, stakeholders were assured of concerted efforts to focus on increased financial and technical resource mobilization. Mutapa Investment Fund Chief Executive Officer Dr. John Mnangagwa said in a speech read on his behalf by the head of Cluster Energy and Trading, Mr. Tinashe Yafele, that the institution will continue to focus on strategies to boost energy supply.
The government of Zimbabwe has prioritized energy security as a critical pillar for industrialization, economic growth, and sustainable development. In this regard, ZPC plays a critical role in ensuring the reliable generation of electricity to support our expanding economy. The certification we celebrate here today is a testament to the company's adherence to global best practice, reinforcing the national drive towards sustainable energy development and operational efficiency.
The recertification of the power generating utility is being described as a show of confidence to government's policy in addressing energy supply gaps.
We are very happy that we have been recertified for integrated management systems in terms of quality management standards. To us, it's a great achievement because it speaks to the way we do things, the way we work, the way we conduct our work processes in terms of safety, in terms of environmental management.
Data from the Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency is showing increased appetite for energy sector projects. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the government is putting in place measures to secure the anticipated bumper harvest and has taken resolution to ensure that war veterans without land receive their allocations. Our next report.
The
Monthly interactive meetings between the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development and the Ministers of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution have become a leading platform in promoting issues of food security as well as instituting measures to promote accelerated rural development and industrialization. This Friday, the meeting held in Mtare, which was also attended by the Minister of War, Veterans Affairs, Senator Monica Mavunga, and officials from the Ministry of Public Service and Social Welfare, focused on improving agricultural productivity.
Tinoda kutenda zvikuru kuti makomberedzi edu akawanda vakawana munda zvinova ndo zvavakaendera kuhondo nyaya yekuti ivhu ribve kuvachena rigoya kwavari saka vazhinji vavo varipo but tichino vamwe vari vasati vawana land.
There's been an affirmation that the school feeding program will continue until the end of the current term. But what's also important is the upward movement in the forecast in wheat, barley and related winter production.
Carpenter fishing, it has gone down. Yes, you know, we are yielding about, I think about 5,000 tons. And yet before at peak we used to have about 20,000. So there's a committee that's going to be set up to look in that sector.
One of the takeaways is the fact that the business unit project that the President, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, is brought up is doing well throughout the whole country.
The Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka, spoke on the plans to rebuild the country's food reserves, issuance of title deeds, and the decision to give all veterans land.
We also highlighted the title deeds program and the intention by the President to fulfill his obligations under the Constitution to give more secure title to Zimbabweans. We looked at war veterans and we had a very elaborate discussion after the presentation by the Minister to say how do we ensure that war veterans remain on the farms and are not disturbed as per policy.
With Matebele and North and South provinces accounting for 36,000 out of 44,500 cattle deaths due to drought, government has also taken a decision to accelerate the establishment of ward drought mitigation centers within the two provinces. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
The government has reiterated its dedication to accelerating financial inclusion for women-led businesses, aiming to enhance their economic opportunities.
Women-led businesses play a vital role in the country's micro, small and medium enterprise MSME landscape, but they still face significant barriers in accessing capital. At the Women Business Empowerment and Leadership Conference, Women Affairs Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Minister, Senator Monica Mnangagwa, emphasized the government's commitment to promoting women's financial inclusion.
My ministry's thrust is to promote women and women-led businesses to have access to affordable and appropriate financial services as tools to achieve financial freedom and allow them to participate and contribute meaningfully to economic growth. And this is in line with the Vision 2030 and with his mantra, which says, leaving no one and no place behind.
Founder of the Motivate Women's Forum, Mrs. Mercy Mazika, highlighted the importance of leveraging government support to boost women's economic impact.
The main objective of this conference was mainly to empower women, was mainly to develop a leadership in women, and also to collaborate with the government, to collaborate with the Ministry of Women's Affairs, and see how we can be able to also identify opportunities.
Women entrepreneurs from various sectors encouraged more women to establish their own businesses, emphasizing the need for women to take up space in economic development and to have confidence in their abilities.
I'm a mechanical engineer. At the moment, we're specializing in the manufacturing of chrome wash plants and other mining equipment. If you have a passion in anything, be it boiler making, automotive engineering, anything that has to do with the mill industry, go for it.
Mental health is wealth, and women need to take care of themselves. They do not need to give up. They need to fight for victory.
Inini ndotaura mainly neline rebusiness randoita kusona. Kurudzira madzimai kuti nyange wakafoira O level unogona unoita chikoro chekusona.
The world is so big that when we collaborate, when we unite and work together, we don't only lift our own lives, but then you get to climb the ladder with other people.
Zimbabwe's commitment to women's financial inclusion is guided by the National Gender Policy and Broad-Based Women Economic Empowerment Framework. The efforts aim to address the significant disparities in financial inclusion between men and women, with women making up a substantial portion of MSMEs. Festus Mkongoro says ZBC News, Harare.
The ruling ZANU-PF party in Mashonaland East Province says it stands by the resolution to persuade President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in office until 2030. This came out in a ZANU-PF Mashonaland East Provincial Coordinating Committee meeting, which was addressed by Provincial Chairperson Comrade Daniel Garwe in Marondera this Saturday.
2030 pasine mhandu hatisi kuzombonyara kutaura zvitiri kuda. President vakataura musuno vakati vabvunzwa kunzi zviri kutaura zvika 2030 vakati I will persuade the persuaders not to persuade me. Now the persuaders have, from Mashonaland East, have started work today to persuade the president to be persuaded. We are going to persuade him to understand where we are coming from and where we want him to take us to. In my view, His Excellency is the only president who is most senior, even among veterans, who has got the institutional memory of the party, because it was formed, all the stages that followed thereafter, he was there. He has got all that institutional memory that we need, that must be documented, coupled with the beautiful, brilliant policies of leadership that he has demonstrated so far. We want him to take us to 2030. Hatina kumbotiruda third term. Hatina kumbotaura third term. Musasema mazwi mukanwa medu. Hatina kumbotaura izvozvo. Chakangoti chete itai kuti tisvike nemi kugora 2030. Zvichireva zvoti kana ungori MP unosvika uri MP 2030. Kana ungori kansela unosvika uri 2030. Ndozvatiri kutaura. Kana usingari unongobva kutoita by election tisanoda. Kana ungori senator unopinda kusvika 2030 uri senator. Kana usingadi by election 2030 pass nemhandu.
The Air Force of Zimbabwe has reaffirmed its commitment to training and producing top-notch officers capable of defending the country's territorial airspace.
This pledge was made during a colorful ceremony at the Air Force headquarters, where newly promoted officers were celebrated in accordance with military tradition. Commander AFZ Air Marshal John Jacob Njede challenged the newly promoted officers to exceed expectations.
It is also important to remember that promotion comes with more responsibilities and greater expectations from superiors and subordinates. I, therefore, challenge the newly promoted officers to rise to these expectations and be custodians of our legacy of excellence.
Air Marshal Njede also highlighted the need for continuous self-improvement among AFZ members.
Let me take this opportunity to caution all of you against complacency. At moments like this, when one is promoted, there is a sense of accomplishment which is indeed justified because of fulfilling all the requirements to earn the promotion. The problem comes when we begin to bask in the glory and tell ourselves that we have finally arrived. It is this mindset that leads to complacency.
The formal proceedings were followed by entertainment as the officers traded their guns for dancing shoes and enjoyed music by Ndimridzo. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
The Presidential Emergency Medical Scheme is gaining momentum, with the Gokwe North District community being the latest to benefit. Now, this program brings healthcare services directly to people's doorsteps and provides free first aid training for youths. And now, our Midlands Bureau Chief Tafara Chukwumira was in Gokwe and filed that report.
The Presidential Emergency Medical Scheme is a result of a partnership between Discovery Ambulance Services and a leading telecommunications company.
First aid tadzidza zvinhu zvakawandisa effect kubatsira vanhu munharaunda vanenge vasangana nematambudziko.
Apa ndiri kutenda nekurwara ndiri murwere asi nemishonga yandaitirwa iyi ndiri kuziva kuti ili ndichararama.
Kutenda ibaba wa Mnangagwa. Tine mwana wekwaMadhumbu 32 years anga asingakwanise kubuda mumba achingova mucheche. Mai Madhumbu vachingochengeta mwana uyu. As a volunteer ndoda kukutenda ine chipo chamatitira nhasi.
The program, which has been oversubscribed in Gokwe North District, has also seen youths being capacitated with critical skills in case of emergencies.
President wedu baba va Mnangagwa vakati nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Saka mutungamiri wedu va David muno wenyu vakadaira shoko ra president vakati aiwa chirega tibatane negovernment tiite chirongwa ichi chekubatsira maefforts agara akuitwa negovernment. Saka tikuuya kuzobatsira zvirongwa zvagara zvichiparurwa negovernment munyika yese.
Pamwe pano iri kutiza donzo renyika iri kuti hapana anofanira kusara chiri kwaari. Iri donzo redu hombe nderekuti utano chinhu chakakosha ende utano munhu wese anodhiziva iright yemunhu wese kuti awane utano. Mukaona chiratidzo chanhasi nchekuti mukuona pane vakwegura vari pano vakuru vari pano vasati vambona kana mukana wekuti vanowanikana nachirembo.
Gokwe Kabuyuni legislator Honorable Spencer Chuma appreciated the efforts by development partners, stating that their contributions would significantly aid in achieving Vision 2030.
Chakakosha ndechekuti kuti usvike 2030 unofanira kunge une utano. Saka chinosvitsa mberi utano. Because tiri kutaura nyaya yeupenyu. Kana ukarwara usingakwanisi kuwana mushonga usiri kuafoda, vision yacho inosara ichitwa nevamwe vose. Saka isusu semusangano weZANU-PF, isusu sevatungamiriri tinoda upenyu.
The Second Republic is working on improving the lives of marginalized communities, aligning with its vision to achieve an upper middle income society by 2030. Tafara Chukwumira, ZBC News, Gokwe.
Vice President Comrade Kembo Mahadi has challenged Zimbabwean businesses to invest in infrastructure development, supporting the government initiatives to upgrade roads, rail and telecommunication services, which are key to economic growth.
Speaking at a Thanksgiving service at Matopo Mission, Vice President Mohadi encouraged the business community to invest in infrastructure as a way of supporting government and communities, given the impact that rail, roads and telecommunication services have in their operations. In a speech read on his behalf by Matabeleland South Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mrs. Latiso Dlamini Masego, Vice President Mohadi encouraged other companies to follow the example set by the Zwane group of companies, which is investing $150 million into the 120-kilometer-old Gwanda Road.
The construction of this highway has the potential of producing tremendous opportunities for all sectors of the economy and will further contribute to the national road infrastructure and network so that all visitors of our country get good access. Investors will be encouraged to set up more businesses. There will be enhanced quality of life and improvement of our region economically.
As Zimbabwe continues to attract foreign investors, Vice President Mohadi emphasized the importance of local entrepreneurs playing an active role in the country's development.
I therefore encourage the community to continue working together to ensure the project's success and to strive for further development. The government is supportive of entrepreneurial ideas to develop the communities.
Zimbabwe's investment landscape is becoming increasingly attractive, with the country being identified as a top investment destination in sub-Saharan Africa. The Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency, ZIDA, is facilitating local and foreign investment, providing information on investment opportunities, legal requirements, and business procedures.
Now, 8 village business units have been established in Hurungwe by government in partnership with 4-H Zimbabwe to mitigate the effects of climate change.
Rural communities in Magunje, Hurungwe district are reaping the benefits of climate-proof farming methods which have been implemented to counter the negative impacts of climate change. A recent climate change awareness workshop held at Magunje Vocational Training Center focused on localized environmental conservation techniques.
Zvinoita neruzivo naro gomba asi mazuva ekutanga raitinetsa nokuti tata sevanhu tatisati tajairana nazvo asi ezvinezvi tatove vanhu vatopinda mazviri zvokutoti tikatorega kuzviita zvemakomba zvacho tinotoona kutoita kunge hameno zvataakutoita torasikirwa.
Kutemwa kwemiti kwakakoshera kuti mvura haizotinetsi pakunaya nokuti nyika ikatagwenga kunaya kwemvura kunonetsa. Hurumende inofanira kutipawo magamutri nemwe miti yatofanira kudyara kuminda imwe yatisarima iye todyara miti. Zvakakosha kuti kunyange patinenge takuzoda kushandisa tinongotemawo miti yedu yatichapinda musango tichitema miti.
Implementing partner 4-H Zimbabwe director Mr. John Muchenje revealed that his organization has so far established 8 village business units in Hurungwe, highlighting the need to capacitate local communities, particularly women, to implement localized climate resilience measures.
You've seen that women are more vulnerable to issues of climate change, so I wanted to come up with the strategies that we can devise at local level in terms of building climate change resilience to the women and also ensuring that when we're talking of climate action in Zimbabwe, we want it to be engendered so that the women take initiatives and also their voices are being heard when we are addressing climate change in Zimbabwe.
Hurungwe District Agri-Tax Officer Mr. Andrew Mafuje spoke on the importance of collaboration in mitigating climate change effects.
Ma-concerted efforts anenge aripo anoita kuti tirerukirwe kufambisa mashoko muvanhu nokuita futi kuti pave necohesion mukati mema-organizations tichitaura rurimi rumwe chete takanangana nezvezvichidiwa nehurumende.
As Zimbabwe continues to grapple with the effects of climate change, initiatives like Pfumvudza and the village business units are crucial in promoting food security and sustainable agriculture practices. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Magunje.
And now we are streaming live on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. For more news, you can also follow us on our website. That's www.zbcnews.co.zw. We are on X as well as Instagram and TikTok, Terry.
Indeed, we are. Be sure to also follow our WhatsApp channel. That's at ZBC News Online. Now, here are the stories still to come in this bulletin. In business, more local firms line up for certification with global standards on products and services. And on sport, Simba Bora and FC Platinum play out to a goalless draw in a Premier Soccer League match this afternoon. We apologize there for the mix-up, but those stories are still to come. Stay with us.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Do you remember back in the day? We would gather at that one house that had a TV in the whole neighborhood to watch our favorite programs on ZBC. Whether it was thrilling wrestling matches, captivating dramas, or the iconic Ezomkito, ZBC TV was an integral part of our upbringing. It wasn't just a channel, it was a shared joy that brought us together. Fast forward to today, and ZBC continues its tradition of delivering top-tier entertainment to your homes. Whether you're tuning in for news, music, educational content, or gripping dramas, we're committed to keep you entertained and informed 24/7. With an expanded channel lineup, we're more than just broadcasters, we're a reflection of Zimbabwe's enduring spirit. Join us on this exciting journey as we revive the golden days and create new ones. Together, we're building a brighter future towards Vision 2030. ZBC TV, your voice, your choice.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, a portion of the Shavane Novel Road has developed a huge crack due to illegal mining activities, a worrying development that has raised safety concerns among the travelling public as well as local residents.
In the National Development Strategy 1 NDS1 blueprint, mining has been identified as a key accelerator to Vision 2030. However, illegal mining activities are hindering progress, with the Shavane Novel Road having developed huge cracks.
kuomeserwa chaiko bhozi tiri kufamba kubva kuno kuti tichienda kupi kutauni unokwira mabhazi kuti tiende kubasa kumimosa.
Tinode mapurisa avo atora action kuti chero naizvozvo vari kuramba vachichera vakomana vasungwa kuti kavochera nemugwagwa hachina pokufambira izvo.
Shavane District Development Coordinator Mr. Darlington Chokera condemned illegal mining activities occurring around residential areas and public infrastructures, saying concerted efforts are needed to curb this scourge.
Kudirikira kweroad kunenge kwaitika kunenge kwakukonzeresa njodzi kuvanhu. So tinogara pasi sedare recivil protection rinosanganisira mapurisa nevamwe vese vane chekuita nezvenyaya idzodzo toronga matano ekuona kuti tadzivirira sei nyaya idzodzo.
The Shavane Novel Road is a critical artery connecting several communities and businesses in Shavane. Courage shares ZBC News, Shavane.
Now, from the capital, it's time to cross over to our Montreux studio where Marilyn Gwenya is on standby to take us on with more news. Marilyn, good evening. It's over to you.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Lian and Tariro. Now, in our following report, the 34th session of the Zimbabwe-Zambia Joint Permanent Commission on Defense and Security started in Victoria Falls this Saturday, marking a crucial step towards enhancing security cooperation between the two nations.
The meeting comes at a time when the region is facing escalating security challenges, including terrorism in Mozambique and the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Key issues addressed during the meeting included the proliferation of sophisticated weaponry among non-state actors, such as drone technology, and the impact of climate change on regional stability. Zimbabwe's permanent secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Mr. Aaron Nepera, stressed the need for innovative strategies to navigate the complex geopolitical landscape.
It is incumbent upon us to keep focused and to be innovative in our collective efforts to peace building and conflict resolution in our quest to contribute to international peace and security. The The currently obtaining geopolitical shifts underpinned by tension, mistrust, and rivalry between and among leading global powers, however, tends to complicate our efforts towards the realization of sustainable peace and security. Appropriate strategies are therefore required to navigate this fluid landscape in pursuit of Africa's Agenda 2063 of silencing the guns.
Zambia's permanent secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Mr. Maambo Amaundu concurred.
I appeal to you all to deliberate freely so that we can indeed devise better strategies to enable us address our mutual security concerns. Let us also commit ourselves to implementing the resolutions once passed, in line with the mandate of this Commission to enhance relations between our two countries, as well as security along our common borders.
The JPCDS is tasked with addressing a range of mutual concerns, including transnational organized crimes such as smuggling, human and drug trafficking, illegal migration, cybercrime, and terrorism. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Councillors and local authorities staff from Matabeleland North Province have described their training at the Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology as critical in their understanding of national service.
The Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology training program held in Ulaya this Friday was aimed at equipping councillors with a deep understanding of national values and development goals. The training has been described as transformative, providing a framework for more effective and community-centered governance.
Positions, they're getting positions, but we are lento ayilidayo ukuthi yavela ngabuya bengayazi we are happy.
Iqakathekile ukuthuthukisa izindlu ezigaba ngoba abantu bayakwanisa ukuzehlukanisa ngento ezincane. Kanti abantu babandawonye bezazi ukuthi bavela ndawonye bengakhala ukuthi umuntu
Talk of development now, it's actually wanting to put the things that actually identify us as Africans. So the colonial mind must actually be out of our minds and we start thinking as Africans.
lwakuti twerete kuti twinkirire biyeni ikunembo kati yabuberegera antomwe akusumpula ichisi cheso.
The emphasis on ideological training comes at a time when Zimbabwe is striving to achieve its ambitious developmental targets.
In a bid to improve the capacitation process of policymakers and staff in councils, government views inclusion of content which will enlighten participants and promote a sense of national pride. It is evident that many, at times, in the local government sector, meaningful dialogue and initiatives are either derailed or postponed due to the failure by political players and council staff to appreciate the bigger picture.
We all need to be seriously involved in the development processes of our communities. National and district initiated projects in our areas must be of our concern as far as their progress is concerned.
The alignment of local initiatives with the National Vision 2030 is essential for achieving sustainable and inclusive growth. Ilandmo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill public hearings held in Bulawayo this Friday brought optimism to the fisheries sector, with the bill expected to promote its growth from the grassroots.
Stakeholders in aquaculture and fisheries have lauded the bill, saying it enables a comprehensive framework for sustainable fisheries and aquatic resource management.
Zvino discourage farmers usually varipa grassroots pakusimuka just because vakangofunga nenyaya yokuti a license is being paid. Zviri kureva kuti chero anga achida kuita business kutaura kuti chokutanga achafunga expenditure yachaita pakutanga fish farming.
Kuunzwa kwekunyorwa kwebhiri kwaunza mfaro wakanyanyisa mukati memoyo wangu, nokuti kurima hove tachikutora kuita business asi business racho ranga satrabudirira.
Bill iri rikangera vepo zvichapa mafamasi mukana wekuti vakwanise, especially pama license, nyaya taurwa ima license, kana vave ne license vakukwanisa kutengesa hove dzavo vakasununguka taakuavoida nyaya yemapochasi.
In a significant commitment to bolstering the country's fisheries and aquaculture sector, government continues to provide vital support to fish farmers.
We are also looking at establishing fingerling hubs so that at least we get fingerlings closer to the farmers themselves as well. With regards to feed issues, we've got quite a number of new players that have shown interest in setting up a shop in Zimbabwe, and obviously we are still engaging those particular individuals.
The new bill is expected to provide regulations that will propel the growth of the fisheries and aquaculture sector while contributing towards economic development.
News at 8 continues from Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, and Leanne is on standby. Leanne, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Marilyn. It's always a pleasure seeing you there on the other side of the screen. Taking it up now from the capital. The Second Republic has made significant strides in transforming the education sector in Uzumba, Maramba, Pfungwe and Muriwa, Mashonaland East by establishing critical infrastructure through devolution funds.
The 2025 Zimbabwe Science Fair held in Harare this Friday showcased innovative ideas of over 200 students from 50 schools across the country.
Students presented their projects designed to address local challenges to a panel of judges and a packed audience.
As judges, we are looking at what the participants, the finalists, have come up with. We go to their projects, we look at their titles, we look at their problem they are trying to solve. We are looking at what gap are they trying to fill.
The winners were selected based on their problem-solving abilities.
The aim of my project is to provide a suitable alternative for chemotherapy, which is a current treatment being used for treating breast cancer. So, kahle project yami iyenza ngokuthi siyasebenzisa cyanide. Cyanide is a known poison that kills cells by damaging the mitochondria, rendering cells unable to produce energy to fuel their cellular processes.
My project is the peer support network for women and children facing climate change in Africa. The peer support network is supposed to facilitate communication. So maybe they are facing hunger problems, maybe they don't have enough food in their household. They're able to reach out to other people who face the same problems so that they can hear about sustainable agriculture practices.
The aim of my project is to address the prevalence of deficiency diseases in young children of Zimbabwe. So this is due to inadequate knowledge on proper nutrition.
The top performers were awarded bronze, silver and gold medals, as well as special achievement awards, which included scholarships to study in China, Europe and America. The 2025 Zimbabwe Science Fair demonstrated the potential of the country's young minds to drive innovation and positive change. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
Now in Manicaland province, the drive to promote agricultural productivity is gaining traction in Mutare district, with more people embracing fish farming, among other agricultural activities that include poultry production and animal rearing. That report.
A remarkable display of entrepreneurial skills, Tadai Kwameko from Odzimtare has embarked on an impressive agricultural project utilizing only 2 hectares of his 5-hectare plot. Meko's project boasts of an impressive array of livestock, including over 66,000 fish in his ponds, as well as thousands of chickens. Meko, who is a gold miner, expressed his gratitude to the government for providing land for agricultural purposes to young people.
Ano turikuita zvefish farming, turikuchengetedza mabrela, turikuchengetedza mbudzi, turikuchengetedza mombe. Zvese izvozvo zvinenge zvichierengwa mugroup reanimal husbandry. Yambiro yangu yandiri kutaura kune vamwe vechidiki ndeyekuti basa ngariende mberi, nyika inovakwa nemwene wayo, mukurima ikoko tinenge tichitovaka nyika.
The project's rapid progress has been impressive, with farm workers and agricultural advisors optimistic about its continued growth.
Trema brillas are pano 5,600. Tine tarisiro yekuti tinofanira kuti tisvike mu10,000. That's why takavaka chikwere chakakura kudai so. Project yefish ndangandotaura nezvayo iproject yakanaka isinganetsi, iproject iri manageable uyezve iri affordable.
Fish dziri pana apo so far pane dzaakuda kuharvestwa manga mine fish pond rega rega rinokontaina 6,000. Pama fish ponds ese ari 12 is only one isina chinhu, which means tiri kuti 6,000 time is 11.
As the government aims to promote the growth of the aquaculture sector into a 1 billion industry by 2030, MECO's project serves as a shining example of the possibilities that can be achieved with dedication and support. Kenya's Chifuje, ZBC News, Mutari.
And now we shift our attention to the courts, where a 43-year-old woman from Mutare has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for her role in facilitating the rape of a 6-year-old daughter.
The woman, who was found guilty after a full trial, had orchestrated the horrific crime by inviting her male friend to their home and assisting him in the assault. According to reports, the mother had undressed a child and watched as the rapist committed the heinous act. The young victim later confided in her grandmother about the abuse and her mother's involvement. In a separate case, a 40-year-old robbery kingpin, Tichaona Chidziva, was handed a 26-year jail term by a Harare court for his role in leading a machete-wielding gang that terrorized Bindura's Chief Musana area in June 2024. Chidziva's gang used extreme violence to rob victims of cash and valuables, threatening to kill them with machete and iron bars. Chidziva will serve 21 years of his sentence, with 5 years suspended on condition of good behavior. His accomplices Michael Kamangira and Tsikamai Nyamute were each fined $200 United States dollars for possession of stolen property. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
And our news variety is off to a break. When we return with business news coming up after these messages. A warm welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We dive straight into business news. Zimbabwe's competitiveness roadmap has received a boost as more local firms are this year lined up for certification. With global standards on products and services, more firms lined up for global certification standards.
Competitiveness of local products and services in global markets is being considered an important element to growth. More firms are submitting proposals to be certified with global accepted standards.
It gives confidence to their clients that the service that they are receiving is a quality service. So in terms of products, for those organizations that are producing products, it also gives confidence that the product, is a quality product that they can consume without necessarily being exposed to diseases and death as a possibility.
Compliance with the global standards is expected to position Zimbabwe as a competitive destination for exports.
The significance is that you are having an outside professional body that is giving you the certification and is monitoring to ensure that you are adhering to the set standards and procedures. So that in itself is a rubber stamp on what you are doing as a company. If you are exporting and you are an ISO certified company, the companies you are dealing with outside the company have confidence in you. Even locally, when you are dealing with companies locally and they know that you are a certified company, they have confidence in you in terms of your products, in terms of your services.
Government, Industry and Commerce last month also held a 2-day Indaba in Bulawayo to formulate strategies towards enhancing competitiveness of the economy. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
And now we turn our focus to the arts, where all is set for the prestigious National Arts Merit Awards. That's the NAMA ceremony, celebrating outstanding achievements on Zimbabwe's vibrant art scene. We cross over to our reporter, Farai Gwaze, who is at the Hippodrome, where the awards are currently taking place. It's over to you, Farai.
Thank you so much, and a very warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we are currently at the Hippodrome in the nation's capital. Expectations are high for the night that everyone has been waiting for, the National Arts and Merit Awards. A night, of course, with the acknowledgement of various artists in and around the country in various disciplines will be acknowledged for the indelible contributions, to the arts in Zimbabwe. Looking forward, of course, to those various awards being given out, and of course, the big one are the People's Choice Awards, which you, as the public, would have decided on during the course of the preparations. And live performances will be taking place during the course of the evening. Expectations are high from a job praiser amongst the many, many more artists. Well, as you can hear, the party has started. We'll get back to the studio. That's it for now.
Many thanks for Gwaza. They're giving us live updates from Hippodrome as the Nama Awards are on the way. And our Paradzai Messi's hit single Takuziva claimed top spot on Radio Zimbabwe Top 20 chart show this week. Let's take a look.
Takuziva dethroned Senator Tichareva's Mirira, which dropped to third place. In a surprising turn of events, Amchaoni by David Kurwakumire plummeted from 4th to 16th position, marking the biggest drop of the week. Leonard Jakarta's Tanyaradzwa made a remarkable comeback, jumping from 6th to 2nd place. New entrants to the top 20 include Nyasha David's Tatata at number 20 and Michael Mahendere's Messiah at number 6. These fresh additions are expected to shake up the chart in the coming weeks.
On that exciting note, we take a break, but when we come back, we'll be updating you on what's happening in the world of sport in Zimbabwe. Stay tuned.
ZBC TV is driven by the corporation's vision to be the Zimbabwean voice of choice across multimedia platforms globally and be a customer-driven and competitive broadcaster. The national broadcaster is committed to giving you high-quality and innovative programming that projects the Zimbabwean voice, identity, diverse cultural heritage, enduring unity, peace, and shared national vision. To share your views, comments, or register complaints on our programming, contact us on WhatsApp number +263 714 975 328 round the clock. ZBC TV, your voice, your choice.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the much anticipated clash between the defending Premier Soccer League champions Simba Bora and FC Platinum failed to live up to its billing after the two teams played out to a goalless draw at Wadzanai Stadium this Saturday.
Touted as the match of the round, Simba Bora and FC Platinum failed to be separated at the end of 90 minutes. Both teams had their moments, but neither were clinical enough to take the match. FC Platinum came in with pride of having been the only team to defeat the Shamba-based side in their own backyard last season. Wary of that, Simba were solid, however, that killed their attacking edge. FC Platinum, on the other end, failed to be clinical. Both coaches were satisfied with the draw.
Yeah, I think it was a fair result. If you look at the opportunities they had, I think we gave them those opportunities. Then first half, I think they played some quality football, better football. Second half, the guys, the legs are a little bit gone. It's the first game of the season. You know, and the pitch is a little bit heavy. But look, I'm more than happy with the point.
The game of the season at home, my first game as the defending champions, the pressure was always going to be there. But I'm happy that we have played this game. I feel that I've taken the pressure off my shoulders. I'm happy with what these boys have done. They left sweat and blood. But to come here and get a draw, of which I felt maybe if our boys were composed, we could have gotten the 3 points. But at the end of the day, we are happy with the point. We take the point.
In other matches, Kwekwe United denied former champions Ngezi Platinum Stars the victory after forcing a 1-1 draw. Cape United's trip to Chisumbanje yielded a point as Jayden Bakari helped the Green Machine to fight back from a go-down to Saito for a 1-1 draw. Irrentos College were too strong for Tier 1, edging the Wi-Fi boys by 2-1. Manika Diamonds beat Yada by a 0-0, while Chicken Inn and Bikita Minerals played out to a goalless draw.
The Premier Netball League has set targets to go regional this year as its eyes increasing the talent and skill base in the country.
After a stellar 2024 campaign, the Premier Netball League has set new goals to better the game in the country and make the country a netball powerhouse. The Zimbabwe Netball Association President Letitia Chipantu expressed optimism that the 2025 season carries greater promise, not just for the Premier League, but also for the national team.
There were lots of resolutions as to how best PNA would go around this, just to make sure that the girl child is empowered. And when I talk of empowerment, I'm talking of netball getting a living for the girls, like them being professional players.
The PNL executive held an annual general meeting before the award ceremony where they discussed on how to better the league.
We were actually evaluating our 2024 programs, the challenges which we have, the successes which we have, and I am happy to say that we managed to fulfill all of our fixtures thanks to Netbank, which is sponsoring us, and it was a great success for us.
The sponsors reaffirmed their commitment to support the league.
We are committed to availing an opportunity for the girl child to improve themselves in terms of their welfare, in terms of playing at the highest level. So we are committed to developing netball from the grassroots. If you look at the PNL, in terms of geographical spread, they cover areas like Mwenezi, you're looking at Bait Bridge, Mashingo, Bindura, Manicaland, and Bulawayo, right across the geographical spread of Zimbabwe.
Meanwhile, the Premier Netball League is set to honor its outstanding players this Saturday evening at the Royal Warare Golf Course in the capital. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
The Mnangagwa Africa Triathlon Cup is set to be held on the 8th of March at its usual venue, the Trailback Resort in Nyanga, and we get the details in the next report.
The event draws elite triathletes from across the world who will be vying for ranking points to qualify for other global events and the upcoming 2028 Olympic Games. Youngsters will also be battling to be continental champions in the Junior Africa Cup. Zimbabwe has predominantly featured athletes in the Junior Africa Cup, but they've struggled for representation in the elite categories. Andy Kuipers, who represented the country at the African Games last year, is a major doubt this year because of college commitments. Outside the professional competitions, the Mnangagwa Triathlon Cup will feature swimming, cycling and running categories, catering for athletes of all skill levels. This year's event aims not only to promote fitness and competition, but also to bolster sports tourism. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Now the way of the weather coming up next.
Pleasant evening, Zimbabwe. My name is Benjamin Kwaramba with your evening weather report and forecast. I hope I find you well. Where we had isolated showers over the northern parts of the country, particularly Wange with 69 millimeters, Gokwe 40, Chinoi 18, Mvuri with 17 millimeters as at 8 o'clock this morning. Many other areas not captured there, yet falls below 10 millimeters. In the satellite images that we have in this afternoon, they show cloudy conditions over Zimbabwe, particularly areas to the north. And we expect these conditions to continue, where we expect some light showers, especially the extreme northern parts of the country, while The central parts of the country should be having partly cloudy periods from time to time, while areas in the dark period there should be having mostly clear skies. While the maximum temperature is expected tomorrow, Harare 24, 28 for Bulawayo, 27 for Victoria Falls, Gwanda 30, 32 for Chirezi, Kariba with 31 degrees Celsius. For the detailed weather forecast in the week ahead, Bulawayo expect your maximum temperatures there in the upper 20s. Harare light showers expected on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Matopos again partly cloudy conditions, mild at first, becoming warm in the afternoon. Your maximum temperatures in the upper 20s. Masvingo expect partly cloudy conditions, mild at first, becoming warm later. Gwanda again we expect it should be mostly sunny, but by afternoon partly cloudy conditions should set in. Gweru partly cloudy conditions, mild at first, becoming warm later. Maximum temperatures in the upper 20s. The same should happen for Kwekwe. We expect again partly cloudy conditions, mild at first, becoming warm later. Kadoma expects some isolated showers on Tuesday. Chinoi again, we expect some isolated showers on Tuesday. Lupane, it should be mostly clear skies, but by afternoon, partly cloudy conditions. It should be warm by afternoon. Victoria Falls, Sunday into Tuesday, expect some isolated showers that may be thundery in places. Bindura, partly cloudy conditions expected, mild at first, becoming warm. Tuesday and Wednesday, expect some isolated afternoon or evening showers. Kariba, partly cloudy conditions, mild at first, becoming warm later. Marondera, isolated showers expected on Tuesday and Thursday. Nyanga, same again, Tuesday, isolated showers that may be thundery in places. Well, Zimbabwe, thank you for watching tonight's edition of the Weather Report and Forecast. Let's make a date again tomorrow at the same time. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
And the weather brings us to the end of tonight's news bulletin.
Well, pleasant viewing.
Good night.
ZBC TV